Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain for You. Today's topic is going to be, does TMS mean you had a crappy childhood? So I'll get to that in a minute. And take a couple of nice breaths. Breathe in the peace. Exhale the noise. Breathe in the nature. Exhale the indoors. Been spending a lot of time indoors lately. Breathe in the confidence. Exhale the doubt. So, before I start, I wanted to thank everybody who wished me well. I did have surgery, sinus surgery here on the right side. Basically, I had large polyps or cysts that were growing and filling the right nasal cavity, and I had a deviated septum where the cartilage was off. So I had surgery on Tuesday morning. So I'm shooting this on Friday. Feeling pretty good. You know, I just feel congested as things heal up in there, but that's apparently very normal. I'm a little bit tired. Just got done with a 2-hour nap. So overall, very pleased. There was not much pain at all. Took some Tylenol with codeine the first day, first 24 hours. Had zero pain at all. And then the next day, woke up. Didn't have much pain, so I didn't take it. So just a few Tylenol this week, regular Tylenol, and that's it. So I have a feeling part of it is because I didn't really freak out about the surgery, and because the danger alarms weren't going off in my brain about, oh my God, the surgery's awful, oh no, oh no, oh no. The brain basically said, yeah, we don't need the pain, he'll heal up fine. So in any event, that's not the topic of this video, but for anybody who wished me well, thank you. For those who didn't know, yes, I did have surgery. So if I sound a little bit stuffy here, that's what's going on. And if I sniff a little bit, I still got a little runny nose from the surgery. So, does TMS mean you had a shitty or bad childhood? The answer is not necessarily, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that. It often does, but not always. Because I'll tell you, more times than I can count, I get messages from people saying, Dan, you know what? I don't get it. My life is pretty good. I've had a good childhood, good parents, no major trauma, no major drama. I don't understand why I could possibly have TMS. So this doesn't fit for me. This doesn't apply to me. So I must have some other reason for the pain. And so I will tell you this. Somebody's trauma is their trauma. Somebody else's trauma is their trauma. There is no comparing here. Basically, I think my childhood was pretty good, but yet I had 13 years of back pain. Go figure. You know, and it had more to do in my case of just, I think, the inability to allow myself to feel certain emotions, right? I didn't want to be an angry asshole like my father, so any anger I just kind of swallowed. Didn't make it go away, but I just swallowed it. Sadness, same thing. I didn't want to be depressed like my mom. She had some major bouts of depression. So I was always the happy-go-lucky guy. Nothing ever bothered me. But when I became an adult and adulting happened, and adulting can be kind of infuriating, I didn't know what to do with those emotions. And so I had all this internal turmoil of emotions that I didn't know what to do with, and that was enough of a stressor for me. No, I wasn't beat as a kid. Yes, I got spanked, but nothing horrific, and for the most part, we probably deserved it. So I don't think I had a particularly traumatic childhood, but yet I still had 13 years of pain. So for anybody out there who says my childhood wasn't that bad, I'll say this: it doesn't have to be awful to get TMS. It's not necessarily how bad was the childhood, but how well do you deal with stressors, and how comfortable are you feeling emotions? And so some people, in order to impress their parents or live up to their parents' expectations, put a lot of pressure on themselves. And that self-imposed pressure creates a lot of internal stress. And the bottom line is, if you had a good childhood, count your blessings, but don't decide that TMS does not apply to you. Do the assessments, and if your pain is behaving like TMS, then it's TMS, regardless of whether you had a good or bad childhood. How the pain behaves and what was kind of going on at the time the pain started is a little bit more of an indicator than how good or bad your childhood was. Now, if you've had a horrible childhood, does that mean you cannot heal? No, doesn't mean that at all. Because that really horrible childhood is not happening anymore, and therefore you can reframe some things, and as an adult you can kind of look at the world through a different lens and say, I'm a survivor, look what I went through, and I'm still here, I'm still smiling, I'm still doing well. And so I think we're in pain more because of what's going on right now than we are about what happened, 10, 20, 30, 50 years ago, right? Yes, those things help shape who we are and how we cope with the world. But I don't think I'm in pain, or I don't think I experienced pain because of something that happened to me in 3rd grade, or when I was 6, or when my dad yelled at me, or whatever. I was in pain because I had a whole bunch of emotions when I was an adult, a young kid, stressful job, long commute, money problems, lived in a rental, didn't own a house, talking about a second kid, and there was a lot of inner turmoil there, and I didn't have an outlet for those emotions. I didn't have any ability to give myself permission to feel those emotions, and stress of work, a difficult job, the combination. Now, it doesn't seem overly traumatic, nor does it seem like anything that should create 13 years worth of chronic back pain and sciatica, but it did. And here's the point. It may have only been enough stress to cause the pain once, but you all know how traumatic pain is. You have a major back spasm, you have a major pain flare-up at the very beginning, and then what happens? We get medicalized, we go to the doctors, we get drugs, they don't work, we get treatments, they don't work, we're told we're broken, or the doctor says, I don't know why you're in pain, and then we feel even more broken. And over and over and over again, and before you know it, the pain kind of becomes a monster all on its own. It becomes its own stressor. It becomes its own source of negative emotions and fear. And so I was not in pain for 13 years because of something that was going on when the pain started. I was in pain because the pain became learned. My brain learned to keep that pain going through fear and attention and the things I talk about all the time. This feeling of brokenness, the feeling of just fearing it. And even when I was feeling pretty good, I would panic, worrying about the next time it would come back. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you had a great childhood, be blessed. If you had a shitty childhood, be blessed because it's not happening anymore and you survived it. I'm not diminishing anybody's experience in life. Some of us have had some pretty horrific childhoods. But the good news is we're no longer children, and we can reframe it, and we can look around and say, in the moment, I'm safe. And the whole purpose of this TMS approach that I teach is to convince the brain that we're safe in the present, we're safe in our bodies, we're safe in our thoughts, we're safe in our emotions. I'm not suggesting we have to be safe in the entire world and universe, because it's kind of a crazy place right now. But I will say, in our thoughts, our emotions, and in our body in particular, we are safe. Because if you've done the assessment and it says it's TMS, then it is TMS. Please accept that. Don't look for reasons that it's not, because all you're going to do is talk yourself into delaying recovery. Because an uncertain mind is not going to let go of the pain. Got to be clear. Clarity matters. So, I wanted to, again, thank you guys for your well wishes. I'm back on track with these daily videos. I recorded a bunch of them before my surgery, so I didn't miss a day. I don't know what it is. I don't seem to be able to take a day off with these videos. I want to be here for you guys every day. You guys mean a lot to me. You've meant a lot to me. And I guess that's it. I'm going to wrap this one up, and we will see you tomorrow.